Welcome to The Good Pod, where today we're talking The Good Wife, Season 4, Episode 7, Anatomy of the Joke. I am one of your hosts, Christina Ricci, with, as always, a woman that I have promised to leave my shirt on the whole time this podcast is on, Marissa Garza. Marissa, you good?
I am good now that you have gotten that out of the way, because I didn't know which way that was going to go. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good. Listen, folks, there was negotiation about the way that the opening joke was going to go in this podcast. I think Marissa's relieved that is the way that I went.
Yes. I never just a little behind the scenes, everyone. I never really know where it's going to go. So sometimes,
listen, when I think it's a little risky, I throw it out to Marissa and get her vibe on it. There was a joke I made, and she's like, "Oh no!" I was like, "Okay, no good on that one. I'll change it." So yeah, here we are. Good Wife, Season 4, Episode 7. Interesting things happen in this one. Mainly more background about Cary, which I think we've all been asking for. And we got it this episode. So really interesting vibe from Cary and his dad. So we'll talk about that in this episode of The Good Wife. Before we dive too deep into the episode, we want to remind you some free and easy ways you can help this podcast. You can do that by rating, reviewing, and subscribing wherever it is you are listening and or watching. You can also leave us comments, feedback, questions, whatever you want over on the goodpodfeedback@gmail.com. And if you want to help the show out, just monetarily, if you so choose, we take amounts big and small. You can go over to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod, leave any amount of money that you wish to help this independent podcast business we have going on here. And we don't have networks that we have to
deal with,
pander to. So we can say whatever, we can make whatever off-color jokes we want, but we won't because Marissa Garza is here. Marissa Garza is the Good Pod's FCC to make sure that we are staying within the lines.
Marissa Garza's name is on a lot of the things that produce this podcast. So Marissa Garza is going to speak.
I have been fined by Marissa before in the past.
You haven't.
About jokes I've made.
It was a verbal fine. If you could sleep at night, that's up to you.
It was a verbal fine. It was not a monetary. With that done, Marissa, let's get into the episode.
The case this week touches on a lot of different storylines, so we're going to spend a lot of our time there and then kind of clean up with some other things. So we are introduced to Teresa Dodd, comedian extraordinaire, also Wednesday Addams, also.
Yes. The one with Christina Ricci.
Yes.
Who I think, where would you say Christina Ricci's heyday was? Like late 90s?
Yeah, I mean, there was the Addams Family Now and Then Casper era. Mm-hmm. And then she kind of disappeared. And then she reappeared in Yellow Jackets and other things. There was a kind of time period before Yellow Jackets. But either way, the woman is insanely talented and can play someone who tells bad jokes really well in this episode.
Speak for yourself, Marissa. I enjoyed the breast humor, if you will. So this is our big guest star of the week is Christina Ricci playing Teresa Dodd. Yeah,
I mean, I love Christina Ricci. It was, we'll talk about it. Okay, so Christina Dodd, again, like I mentioned, comedian extraordinaire on late night TV, and she has on a mission to help people, or women specifically, understand breast cancer because her mother recently passed away from breast cancer, and she thinks the best way to do this is to do a demonstration of a self-check on herself on late night TV. And this kind of, applaud her, great, but the network says not so fast. We're going to sue you because obviously this FCC is going to sue us. So we're going to sue you to kind of comp some of that cost back. So the clip is being shown in court, and we see that our good friend Burl is from, Mr. Big Shot from California is defending the network, and he's suing them for $2 million. And while she's on the stand, Teresa smiles at Will. Burl picks up on it and is like, "Oh, you obviously have been coached by your lawyer." And she's like, "No, he's just cute."
Teresa is interesting because I think she has this characterization of, I'm going to say a lot of female comics, certainly in that age and definitely in this age
Yeah.
as well, who, it's a, how do I want to say this?
Choose your words,
I'm
Jason.
definitely trying to choose my words very carefully. I am appreciative of women that are bucking the stereotype and bucking convention by being more more sexually
Forward.
forward
Free. Forward. Okay, sure.
free or forward.
Mhm.
But I think this is definitely a representation of that, because I mean, definitely in 2012 it was kind of new, right?
When did that happen? Remember that one time when Drew Barrymore went on David Letterman and flashed him? We didn't see it, but but Dave did.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. But
But I mean, but what this entire case brings up is a conversation around when nudity is appropriate on television and when it's not. And I think, like in this case, she is definitely presenting it as in an educational format, which she thought would like cover her a little bit, but it is on a late night show.
And I also think she's been coached by Will and Alicia,
Yes,
to take this testimony and kind of spin it to like, I was trying to help. I wasn't doing anything bad. And Burrow's like, it has nothing to do with the fact that you have a book coming out and you maybe want to like get some pub around the book. Like that had nothing to do with that. She's like, no, what do you mean?
but then at the same time, well, at least it's being inferred. Alicia gets Teresa to say on the stand that she's always brought in on the show to like push the envelope of places and do things. So we don't really know where this is lying, but we do learn something. We learn a term called the safe harbor period, which is apparently between 10 and 6 p.m., where the FCC said at this time, don't really know, one, if there is an FCC at the moment, and two, if there's people there, and three, if this is still the law anymore.
If you're watching this current season of South Park,
yes,
they did something very interesting about the FCC.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
but apparently the FCC was or is, do your own research, people. Was okay with nudity and language between the hours of 6 or 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So this brings into question when this was taped, when they thought it was going to be on TV, because normally it would have not been in the safe harbor period. But what Alicia's trying to contend here is that the show was going to be delayed because of football. And it was going to be on later. So she's trying to really just drive home the point of like, this was not something that Teresa thought would actually incur a fine, because she was under the impression that all of this is a very weak argument. This is what she's going with. And the show also is doing some creative ways of educating us on how the network has to like cover up some of these words, because Alicia does say these words, and at the time she's saying words she shouldn't be saying. Like Christina Ricci puts her arm up to like block her voice, and then there's like a car honking outside. And so I just thought it was a very meta and fun, cheeky moment on the show.
Well, there was another moment where Christina Ricci's on the stand, and she's like, "Isn't it crazy that the network would let people say certain things that are said on cable only because of the network's choice not to do that?" She might as well have like walked up to the camera and just said it like right in the camera and was like, "Isn't it crazy, CBS, that you don't let us say shit and the F word?" I mean, that's really even too much for the Good Pod to get past.
Marissa Garza's name is on a lot of the stuff, Jason.
To get past the Marissa FCC of this podcast, I'm not even gonna say that word, but she might as well just walk.
I could bleep it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you do all that word. Isn't it crazy that we don't get to say this word and this word, even though we should be able to, because we're on at this time?
Well, it makes me, I feel as though my pop culture history is failing me, because I wonder if this is in response to a moment. I don't know if it's in the moment. It could have been. I don't remember when this was, but when the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake thing happened, it could have been, because that has to do with nudity. But I feel as though this is definitely like a response episode, and I'm not picking up on or remembering, because my brain has been through the blender of 2025 as to what that moment might be, or there could have been no moment and they're just making a statement. I don't know, but knowing the show, there probably was something that was happening in real time that this is a response to.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah. Will at this point argues, hey, look, the only reason this lawsuit is happening is because of the advertisers. You're afraid you're going to lose advertising money. The judge at this point tends to agree, but he's like, the only thing keeping me from agreeing with you and dismissing this case is I just want to know if this was premeditated in any way. Like, what's going on? And they were fine up until Burl brings up a makeup artist onto the stand, and the makeup artist is like, yeah, I did her makeup. And Burl's like, where? Basically making Burl go through like all of the uncomfortable moments to basically say that Teresa requested makeup on her chest and her breasts for television that night, showing that this was premeditated.
Yeah. Side notes: the Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson,
when did it happen?
Super Bowl 2004.
No freaking way.
yes.
Oh
you had the same
God.
reaction I did. I was like, damn, I'm old. Because like, boy, I would have said, if you had asked me what year, and when you said, I was like, yeah, was that like 2012? 2013?
Yeah.
2004.
Oof.
More than 20 years ago. Oh.
Yeah.
Might be
Yeah. Let me just sit with that for a minute. I'm just
let's just all feel our ages right now.
Yeah.
As we
oh boy.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
My knees just creak thinking from that.
Speaking of advertising, this has been brought to you by Aleve or
Voltaren, the arthritis, the cream.
Yes. Well, at this point, Burl's like, hey, I got this in the bag. Let's talk settlement, And Will's like, okay, fine. How much? He's like, $2 million, which was the original ask. And while they're having this meeting, Clark walks in and he's just like sitting at the table, clearing his voice, making sure his presence is known. And Will's like, we're not paying the $2 million. And Burl's like, okay, there may be a way out of this. Basically, we're going to get fined by the FCC, $3 million. And if Teresa comes with us and gets the FCC to not vote to fine us, basically, then we'll be okay with the case. Like, that's fine. We'll let it go. And Will's like, okay, like Alicia could go with her because she needs a babysitter. And Diane is like, well, but also, what about Cary? Maybe we should send him too.
I love Will's reaction. Like, oh, he complained to you, huh? And Diane plays it off. She's like, no, he's not on a lot of cases, so we need to put him on some cases.
He didn't need to complain. I have eyes, Will. I don't need, I could see things.
When in reality, we know that Diane had no idea, and Cary did have to complain in order to get put on cases. Yes. And it just like, it's funny because there's definitely still this residual tension between Cary and Will over the grand jury that grand jury case Will had to sit through in season 3 or season 2?
Season 2.
Early season 2.
Yeah.
And there's still like this residual like, nah, it's not we're not cool, bro, because Will is purposely not putting Cary in a lot of cases because he don't like that man, because that man tried to hem him up.
He doesn't trust him, yeah. I get it. But at the same time, Cary has done nothing in his 2.0 time at the law firm to really show that he's not trustable. But like I mentioned earlier, Clark was in the room and Clark did not leave the room while everyone else left. He sticks around to talk to Beryl. It's like, hey, just want to let you know, this place could use a buyer if you're interested. And Beryl's like, you gotta be joking. Like, that is not something I want to do, except for like your family law practice is really, really profitable. Clark's like, great. This sounds fantastic. Let's keep talking. Meanwhile, Cary and Teresa are, buddying up. I would have that was a cute combo. Like, that was like, also like Matt, what's his face? Cary.
Matt Zuckery.
Does look a little Devon Sawa-esque. From Casper. So that's kind of like what happened in my brain.
Okay, I can see that.
While they're in DC, Burl brings up the firm to Alicia. First of all, I just want to place this in everyone's minds before we go any further in this episode. It is like a 2.5-hour flight from Chicago to DC. I just want you to be aware of that fact when you are looking at everything.
Yeah, listen, we talk a lot about travel logistics on the show and how it's like, we'll just pop over to here and pop over to there as if it's like a 2-minute drive. It's like, no, there's a lot of going on there in the travel.
Yeah. Okay. The flight duration, I just looked it up to check myself. The flight duration is 1 hour and 55 minutes. And that's just gate to gate. Okay. You got to like get through the airport. You got to pick up your stuff. But just park in your mind. It's like a 2-hour experience just at the airport.
But
okay?
Marissa, what do you want? Do you want to have a scene at the airport?
No, I don't. But I will tell you what I want to see when we get there. I just wanted to park this information in your brain at this moment in time.
We want to feel the stress and the anxiety of traveling.
That's not what just wait for it. Just wait for it.
All right, we'll get there.
So they travel to DC. Brill talks to Alicia about the firm. She's like, I don't know. Like, bankruptcy isn't that bad. Like, I don't know why you're talking to me about this. And they go to their first FCC meeting and they talk to the first guy. And he is basically like, yeah, okay. Like, I will vote to not fine you. That's fine. But I do have a question. Like, why do you show naked bodies covered in blood on your networks and bruised and battered, but you're not okay showing nudity just without that? Which was a good point. And Teresa is like, yeah, what about that? That's what I've been saying. Why is this? But she's so awkward and so she's not helping herself in any way, because on the way out of this office, she comments on the paperweight and says, was that a metal making class 101? And he's like, no, it's a piece from 9/11.
I love how like they kind of keep grabbing Teresa, like, all right, you're hurting. Let's go. Come on, we gotta go. You're hurting our case here. Come on.
Yes. While they were like kind of debriefing from that meeting in the hallway of like the world's smallest building and hall in DC, because everybody is conveniently there, we run into Cary's dad. We meet Cary's dad, aka Jeffrey Agos.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. And the way that Cary and his dad, like, when Cary saw his dad, he wasn't like, little smile. There was no like, oh, it's my dad. He's like, oh crap.
Which is why, like, I really just want to hug Cary all of the time.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the hotness of Matt Zuckery. You just want to be there for him emotionally.
Yes, I can fix him.
Yes. Oh, Marissa. But yeah, he was just like, he's like, oh crap, it's my dad.
Yeah, and at first I didn't like really, because the reveal that it's his dad isn't until Cary introduces Alicia to this man. Because at first, like, yeah, you could tell this was a family man to like save his life. It was just like, I was like, is this someone from the Peace Corps? Is this someone from like, where is this person from? But he introduces Alicia and is like, I'd like you to meet my father. And I was like, wait, what? But
Alicia's as surprised as we are. She's like, oh, yeah. Like, this is your dad? Like
you have one? Like, where?
Yeah. I thought you were just born of spawn. I don't know. I thought you just like kind of appeared.
Yes. And I recognize this guy, Jeffrey Agos. He was, to me, Lex Luthor.
Yeah, weirdly, he's a very like sci-fi ish guy. He was Lex Luthor in Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman, starring Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain.
We don't
talk about him anymore in popular culture because he's a very, very, very problematic person. But yeah. He was the TV's Lex Luthor of the 90s. He was also in Mutant X, which was like this like X-Men-y, like without calling it X-Men TV show back in the 90s. So he was something back then. He's not too noteworthy now, but he was something back then.
He was though so good at Lex Luthor. First of all, Lois's hair and Lois and Clark, primo supremo. Second of all, his Lex Luthor voice was so distinct. I kept like searching for like another voice to come out of this man's mouth. I was like, are you sure? Am I putting the right thing? I don't know. Who are you? But yeah, he's been, well, he was around in the 90s. He was definitely more in the 90s. And he offers to help Cary here. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You talked to the FCC. I met with those guys this morning. Let me help." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's so nice of you, Mr. August. You're so cool. Great." Wrong.
Wrong.
We learned that the organization Parents Against Indecency, which I don't have enough time to talk about, which isn't real, but you know,
there are the other.
You could just infer. Yeah,
there are other organizations that you know. I don't know, Marissa. Are you sure you're not like simpatico with these type of organizations? You know, you're really putting your foot down here on the FCC side of things in this podcast.
I don't think. What are you trying to make me say?
The Marissa against indecency?
No, I am not against indecency. I'm against putting myself in vulnerable situations where I can be sued when I have no resources.
Oh my!
Not that I just put it all out there vulnerably, but yeah, I am just me.
Okay, all right.
I am not a corporation. I am not like, it's just little me. And
yeah,
you.
but parents,
you know,
I'm here too. I'm here too.
I know. I want to protect you too.
But Parents Against Indecency, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know all the acronyms, but there are definitely people out there that
oh, for sure. Well, I mean, do you remember Tipper Gore and the explicit CD rankings and like all that stuff? So like there's always been a parental group for something or against something at all times.
This is as well as a good podcast, is also a nostalgia cast. Okay,
yeah, for sure.
Those of you that have listened know that already. Do you remember when they started putting the TVMA things on the corner of the screens? And how big of a deal that was in the moment of like
huge.
Boy, I had to stop watching so much TV when that came out. My mom was like, "Oh, this is TVMA. You can't watch this." Like, for real, bro. Like,
I want to know what my parents' solution to that was. Turn around, plug your ears.
Yeah. And my mom's just like, "Oh, I guess you only watch that anymore." It's like, damn. My mom goes, "Are you 14?" I'm like, "No, I guess you're not watching this. Are you 14?
Oh, too late. Yeah. Let's get you. Yeah, I feel that was a big moment because that was only on movies for such a long time, and then it came into our world on TV. And now we even have like, before it was just the rating, it wasn't the description, but now we have like descriptions of what specifically is in that episode of TV. You know, it'll be like nudity, lewd language, blah blah blah.
And you know what's funny is that I feel like now I don't even clock it now. I don't even it's not even a part of what I look at when I look at TV now. I feel like if you ask me right now, Jason, are they still doing that little box in the corner? I don't know. It
used to be real big, people. It used to be big, but now it show up like just a little bit in the left corner before, like when a TV show starts.
Yeah,
and then
if you told me
like on the title screen on a streaming.
Yeah, if you told me they took it away and I just didn't notice, I'd be like, yeah, okay, probably because it's out of my. I've probably seen it so much that I don't even register it anymore.
Yeah, but you know, at least the network can say they covered themselves.
They go there, boo.
So Parents Against Indecency is basically saying it's not about this specific moment. It never is. It's about the floodgates. Like, we just don't want this to like open up the floodgates and there to be nudity everywhere, and everywhere we turn, we are concerned parents. To which, like, Burl's like, you put on Schindler's List the other day before stuff. There's nudity in that. It's like, well, are you comparing what your comedian did to Schindler's List? Like, this values moral policing of content has been going on since the beginning of time, and that's just continuing here in this case. Alicia calls back to say like, hey, we're not sure about the second guy because the Parents Against Indecency people are here. Oh, and also Burl is talking about the firm a lot, and Will and Diane are like, wait, what? Hold on for a second. They're like, he's onto us. And
or we're on to Clark. That's
yeah, exactly. Like. Yeah.
Oh, Clark's being a little Badutsky.
Yes, and he Will tells Alicia, like, tell Burl that we lost Edelstein and see what happens. And Diane's like, we are only at $12 million. We need $6 million to get out from this. Like, what are we gonna do? Something has to happen. So
I think it's been all fun and games with Clark up until this point. Like, we've been able
Yeah.
to deal with him. We've actually used him to our advantage a couple of times. Clark seems to be on our side, but now he's trying to sell us to someone else. Like, oh, I think this is the moment where they realize, oh no, like this isn't cute anymore. This isn't fun. We gotta figure out how to get rid of Clark.
He will go there. Like, he's gonna go there. We thought he wouldn't go there, but he's gonna go there.
Yeah, well, he was our friend. We were all pal around with him, but now he's just trying to sell our firm out from under us. How the heck do we get away from Clark?
Reads one Steve Jobs biography,
and
his whole world changes. That's how powerful he was, Steve Jobs, even from beyond the grave. R.I.P. Yeah, and to black turtlenecks everywhere. Alicia goes to chill with.
We still have the Rock, okay?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm sorry. Erasure of the black.
Keeping the black turtlenecks alive.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I do apologize to Black Turtleneck Nation. I would say here, Alicia goes to go chill with Cary in the hotel room. Business tripping it up, saying hi, drinking wine, drinking whiskey, doing all this stuff. And she inserts herself into this, in my opinion, a little too much. She tries to big sister him into talking to his dad about it. It's like, you only get like your one family. And this has been her thing. Like, she's given this speech before, so it's not like uncommon, but like, Alicia, that man had no warmth for Cary. And like, are you listening to what Cary has said? He was kicked out when he was 18. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything when he was the youngest state's attorney ever in the state of Illinois. He has no idea what his kid is up to. But yeah, people can change.
I think it's more of like Alicia is inserting herself without knowing the full dynamic. She just sees this like, oh, it's a dad and his son. Like, I can make this work. I can come in here and fix things. It's like, Alicia, you can't fix everything, girl. Okay, because Cary's dad calls Alicia's room by mistake, and she tells him like, she hears Cary and his dad arguing. She's like, let me go fix this. Like, and Cary gives her pretty much the down low about their relationship, and Alicia kind of sets Cary up for failure because Cary at this moment is like, oh, he's just my dad. My dad's gonna dad, and she's like, but he could have changed. He could be a new person. Well,
and because they have this conversation about how they have changed for each other. Yeah. It's like, oh, I used to hate your guts, but now I share an office with you, and oh, I thought you were after me. So Cary walks away from that conversation thinking, yeah, like Alicia changed on me. Maybe my dad can too.
Yeah, and I love the camaraderie that Alicia and Cary have formed. And like how she is comfortable just chilling with Cary in his hotel room on separate beds and just like shooting the stuff. And and just they're comfortable enough with each other now that they're friends at this point. I love the conceit of that, but yeah, you're right. Like the stuff inside this of Alicia basically setting Cary up for disappointment was crazy.
I was like, what are you doing? You just got to a good place with him, and Cary. This is so close to Cary. Luckily, it doesn't, or hopefully, at least in this episode, didn't affect the relationship. But it was a real risk. I was like,
yeah, I don't think it did. But it's just Alicia kind of thinking she knows best and giving her little brother some advice here.
Yeah, and this conversation was interrupted because they remember that Teresa's on late night TV again on I don't want to say his name. The show
say his name
on the show of a man who has been on late night TV talking about politics for a very long time and has recently been denounced by many people because of his attitude towards the Muslim community, specifically after 9/11, and is constantly recommended to people after watching John Oliver, even though the people who watch John Oliver would never watch current day
has the same
episodes of this show.
Has the same initials as bowel movement.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good. That was a lot shorter than what I did. But yeah Mr. Bowel Movement, he is interviewing Teresa on the show, and it's so cringy to watch because she's like first of all, why did they allow her to go on TV during all of this?
I thought this would be a good idea.
But she's like talking about her day on the Hill with the FCC and how the conversation she's having. And at the end, she's like, basically, that's it. No censorship. my breast could do whatever they put their minds to, or something like that. And it was just like,
well, and
she
she's
is
saying
like the queen of foot and mouth. Like,
well,
she's just like, oof.
and she's joking that she is like stripping for the FCC
Yes,
people
yes.
to like try and sway them to not find the network. And what made this even more cringy is that it's obvious that that Christina Ricci and Bowel Movement taped their segments apart.
I
Because
don't blame that. I do not, for the safety of Christina Ricci, I do not blame her.
because it was so stilted, and
Yeah.
Bowel Movement, sorry, Bowel Movement was so
Wow.
wooden. It was just
Yeah.
it's like it's not even good acting. It's like, oh, this is bad. So
Well,
that made the whole thing even more like ridiculous.
yes. And luckily it was a very short segment of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day, Cary's meeting with his dad, okay, in a restaurant at a circle table, and his dad is sitting on the left side of the screen, and Cary is sitting at the right side of the screen. Again, I'm just planting this information into your head as I did earlier before. I'm building my case. Okay. Just
all right. I can't wait to
building
see
it
what
up.
this pays off to.
Building it up. Cary and meets with his dad, and they're having breakfast. And, you know, Cary's dad's like, hey, I read a paper you wrote. And it was like super smart. I didn't understand most of it, but it was really smart. And you did such a good job. And also, like, I'm so proud of you. And I know it's been like so long, and it's since we've talked. And
Cary's dad's really buttering the toast right now. He's just like,
oh my God.
It's really
And then
laying it on thick.
But then he lays it on even thicker by saying things like, I don't know how long many of us have. Like, I don't know. And Cary is like, of course, like this is adult child alert language, right? You're like, what do you mean? Like, how much longer do you have? And his dad's like, yeah, I'm just so proud. I'm so sorry. We should talk at some point. This is something we should talk about. And Cary's like, I am right here. Why don't you just like say what it is? And Alicia comes in and says, hey, Martinez, the other FCC person they were going to talk to, canceled. And Cary has to go right now.
Yeah, for some reason, this is an emergency. They had to get on a plane right this instant to do strategy sessions, I guess. I'm like, why is this such an emergency that you need to leave right this minute?
Right now. And okay, so again, just right now in DC. Okay, they have to leave DC right now. Just at a circle table where Mr. Agos is on the left-hand side. Again, building my case. Diane confronts
I think I know where you're going. We'll see.
Diane confronts Clark about selling everything. And Clark is like, listen, I can't just make up money, right? Like, we can't just we have to start getting serious about this. This is a solution to our problem. I have the rights to do this. I'm going to do this. Diane walks out of the office without really saying much, but then goes with Will to confront David Lee to kind of make a deal. Because still, to this day, David Lee is the only department. Family law is the only department that is making money for his firm in Chicago, to which Cary has returned from DC to Chicago. Okay. And then he calls his dad. Yeah. And where do we find his dad, Jason?
Sitting in the exact same spot we just left. But listen, here's the thing though, right? He's a lobbyist, right? So he has to have a lot of meetings. He does a lot of lunches with different people. Maybe he was just at the same restaurant.
You could have told this better to me if you said, look, he's like Lex Luthor and he I don't know, but
yeah, but I mean, let's assume that the Cary dad
sat at the same table.
Could have. It was breakfast. It was 9:00 in the morning. Alicia comes down and says, hey, we gotta go, Cary, let's go. They get immediately on a plane that leaves immediately after they get to the airport, and they get back to Chicago, let's say at 12:00. Okay.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Put him on the other side of the table.
Put him somewhere else. It was obvious that what's the actor's name again?
Mr. Lex Luthor?
Mr. Lex Luthor.
John Shea.
It was obvious John Shea had limited time. He's like, all right, I can't be here a bunch. I got a Lois and Clark reunion to get to. I can't spend much time. Like, all right, we'll just shoot this Cary scene and then we'll shoot the next scene where you get called by Cary back to back. How about that?
There was another chair. That's all I'm saying. You didn't have to change the lighting or anything. Just move the man to another chair. Yeah. But he was legit in the same chair. And I was like, wait a minute, you got on a plate? And
I clocked that too.
like they adjust it, or they even address it in the conversation. Because he's like, I thought you went back to Chicago. And he's like, I am.
I did clock that. I was like, why is he in the exact same spot he was a minute ago? And I want to be like, yeah, I've been here for the last 4 hours just doing work at this table. I haven't left the spot you left me in. I'm just doing work.
I've been waiting for you
at this table, getting just nonstop coffees at this table.
I couldn't. I laughed out loud. I could not handle it. This was so painful. This whole conversation. Cary's like, okay, just tell me. Like, I'm right here. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. Just tell me.
Tell me what cancer you have. Tell me what, uncurable disease you got. That we gotta, I gotta sit by your bedside and we'll be father and son again. Go ahead.
Yeah. Tell me. He's like, it's just like really hard to talk about. And
I'm here for you, Dad. I'm here for you.
Your mom thinks we should wait. Mom thinks I should wait. But Senator Byers from Illinois, I have a chance to be press secretary, and I know that she's BFFs with Diane, and you work with Diane, so like I was thinking that maybe you could just like put in a good word.
Oof. Oh man, I did not see that coming. I was like, oh, that's not good.
So cold.
Cary is rightfully just filled with anger. Like he wants to smash that phone that's in his hand, because
he probably was thinking about it on the whole 1 hour and 55-minute flight from DC to Chicago. Because
it is 2012 and he's on the landline.
Yes.
He probably wants to smash the receiver in his hand because you can see the rage inside of Cary. He's like, this was the big thing. You wanted to ask me a favor? Like what?
Wow. And it was just like, so again, I just want to hug Cary. Like, I'm so sorry your life sucks so much.
And it's not even the
even though you are a white man and even though you're rich.
Okay. It's not even the like anger that Marissa, you and I would have of our parents that would do something like this and would just be like, you got me worried for nothing.
Right.
It's the simple fact that the only time Cary's father is vulnerable with him, is like talking to him really and showing interest in Cary, is to ask for a favor.
Like, I mean, I think there is a thing that happens, at least with people my age that I talk to that are friends. I guess that's what you call them.
Compatriots, acquaintances.
Yeah, those people. I've been having conversations with like parents will do things like, oh, by the way, we're just coming home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Or, all of that stuff.
So don't get me started. Don't get like my mother, bruh. Like you had like a procedure and I'm just hearing about it 2 weeks later. What?
What do you mean my father was in a car accident and I didn't know about it? And totaled the whole car. What?
Bro, what?
What?
Don't get me started.
But I mean, like that's like the behavior, and even that, like that, I don't know. It's like all I could think of when Cary was like not getting the information is like that. I was expecting something like that to happen. Of like I had a brain tumor removed or like something like that, some sort of thing like that. But this man has not talked to his son in 18 years, pretty much. And is asking for a favor, and he thinks by saying "I'm so proud of you" at a breakfast is really going to buy him the runway he needs for this favor. Mm-hmm. So sad. Kalinda comes in. She's been working on some other stuff, which we'll talk about. But she comes in and she's like, "Hey, so Martinez only canceled on you guys. He didn't cancel on the Parents Against Indecency. So they're meeting up at 6 p.m." That's what did they say? Like, great, let's get on a plane and go 1 hour and 55 minutes to DC. It's a very smart strategy by Cary. He's like, well, we could just say we never got the notice and we could be there. And what are they going to do? Like, we're there. At least we'll have a shot to have a conversation. And while going to this meeting, because again, DC is the smallest place in the world and there's only one hallway, he does run into his father.
Yeah.
And he confronts him on the way to the meeting. And I was so proud of Cary in this interaction because he's basically just like, no, I'm not going to do this. You don't talk to me. You don't do any of this stuff. You didn't even say anything when I made state's attorney. and now you're asking me for a favor. And I gotta tell you, they picked the right man to play this, because Lex Luthor, it was very Lex Luthor-y.
I was about to say he just got his best Lex Luthor in this moment. Be like, other families gush. A compliment is needing something from you is how we show our love in this family. It's like, oh, okay, Lex. All right, Lex.
So it's transactional. It's not unconditional. It's not unconditional. And he ends this conversation by saying, I will never talk to you again.
And Cary says, my loss, and just like walks away. It's like, oh, Cary, get it, boy, get it.
Oh, yeah. So they go into the meeting with Martinez. They're like, oh, I didn't get the message.
What?
Did you get the message?
Oh, no.
And this time, Teresa does finally like tell the story about her mom and how her mom died of breast cancer. She was funny, and so she's been trying to like deal with this, going through all of this stuff. And the FCC Martinez man brings up a joke she made about rape. He's like, I could believe that if that was an isolated incident, but you joked about being raped by clowns to make rape funny. And I am glad that the character said that wasn't right in the show and apologized in the show, because it is not right. But this is where, again, it was just like, oh, so cringy to like hear some of these things. Not saying that they don't happen in comedy shows today, but just like, oof. And she's asked, like, why do you tell these jokes? Like, because I have a potty mouth, which I thought was like such a weak response. And the Parents Against Indecency people are like, there are standards here to protect viewers from indecency like this, you know? And Beryl in his
Burl.
Oh my God. I spelled his name like 800 different ways in this document, but that guy.
Beryl was the victim in Elsbeth last week.
Sure was. Yeah. Okay. So Burl goes and said, well, but you know, viewers don't want to be protected from stuff like this because they voted with the remotes, and viewership is higher than ever. Yeah. And so then the FCC says, hey, okay, Teresa, will you sign a pledge? Never sign a pledge from the government. But she says, will you sign a pledge? She just gets up. Well, first of all, she kisses Cary.
Yeah.
And then walks out of the room.
It's like, okay. And then Burl goes, I think that's a yes. All right, Burl. Way to try and save it, my guy. Way to try and save it.
It would have been good if he started floating or something. That would have been funny. Because of Casper, you know. Mm-hmm. Okay, just making sure. The team goes back into court, and the Will's telling the judge, hey, look, we had this agreement that if we were able to get the FCC to vote against fining the network, that we would be absolved of this case. The FCC hasn't decided, but we have to talk about damages here. Like, are there any damages? Because Burl is saying affiliates are dropping the show, but then the next second he's telling the FCC more people are watching than ever, so they're getting more ad revenue out of this. So is there any damage? Is there any reason we should be here at all?
I love Burl like looks over to Alicia, because Alicia obviously told Will this, because Alicia's the one that Alicia heard in this meeting and went and told Will. Burl looks over Alicia like, you little minx. I thought we were friends, Alicia. Like, nah, bro. Hey, you said it. And Burl's like, that was said at a different venue. Like, it doesn't matter. You said it.
Doesn't matter. You said it. And he would pull the same thing on them. So okay. So with this knowledge from court, Burl walks back into the law office and sits down to deal with Clark. He's like, okay.
Rather angrily, I might add.
He's kind of pissed, but he's like, look, we'll take on your debt, but you have to take care of the severance. Like, these are our terms. And who walks in during the middle of this? Like this man, the man whose name I do not know, but the guy who is David Lee.
Oh, Zach Grenier.
Can never play anyone other than David Lee again.
Never. He has messed himself up by typecasting himself as David Lee. Like, the only other project this man can get is a David Lee spinoff, because this is the character he was born to play. He's like Jaleel White and Urkel, right? Yes, Jaleel White can never get a job again because he was Urkel.
Oh, but he did. He was in some stuff recently. But yes, exactly. Like, yes, but he is so good. So good at this. He walks in, they're like, what are you doing here? He's like, just waiting to be free. Like, what? Like, yeah, they just, the partners, they just rewrote my contract and said if the firm is bought or sold, I get to go. Like, I'm free. And
Yeah,
Clark's
with
like,
no penalty to his like
right.
contribution or
Yes,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah. And Clark's like, excuse me, what? Why? And then he, in the next breath, goes to Burl, but the rest of the firm's in great shape. Burl's like, I'm out. And Clark is pissed.
He's pissed. Like, and a pissed off Nathan Lane is really good. I was like, oh my god, this guy, this nerd is about to like freak out on these people.
They're about to crash out.
Yeah.
Like, he walks into Will and Diane's. Also, this was also very well played by Will and Diane, because Clark's coming in with so much passion and like opens the door, bounces back off, and all this stuff. And Will and Diane are just kind of like, yeah, like,
bro, you good?
What do you want?
You all right? Like,
it's like, I don't back down. Like, neither do we. It's like, well, be prepared to crash. I was like, oh my goodness gracious, Clark. So we've got a little bit of a Clark versus the firm war on our hands.
I like how Will and Diane being cool and calm as cucumber. Will's like, Clark, I think you should take a step back from the firm.
Oh yeah,
you're a little too invested. It's like, oh my god. So this is handled so good.
So good. We do end up finding out that the FCC isn't going to find the network. So basically, Teresa's off the hook anyway, regardless of what was going on with Burl. So thank goodness that happened. Then there's this really awkward goodbye between.
Yeah, what's Teresa? The opposite? What is the opposite of a meet cute? This is like a goodbye. Cute? It's like a bye ugly. Like, this is a bye ugly. It's like she's like, all right, like, I don't do well with goodbye, so like, bye.
And Alicia's like, all again, big sister, like, well, what'd she say? Like, what did she do? It's like, she just said bye. I was like, well, but she kissed you. It's like, yeah, she's a comedian, which I didn't really understand, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. Comedians, they do weird stuff.
Yes. And Teresa does Alicia a little bit of a favor here in this, because she talks publicly about Brazil in her stand-up, which we will talk about.
You saw it as a favor? I didn't really see it as a favor.
She laughed. Well, she was
she
was asked by Peter to talk about it with humor. So now she at least has something she can talk about with humor
I guess.
But yeah, Teresa definitely used everything around her for material, the entire time.
I didn't see it as a favor. I saw it as like material for Teresa.
Well, maybe it could be both. But yes. Throughout this entire case, we had Laura kind of coming in and out. Captain Laura, aka Amanda Pete from last episode. Apparently all it took was that one case, and she's out the door at the military.
Yeah, I honestly was not anticipating seeing more of Captain Hellinger. I was like, oh, she's back. She's here again, which I guess we're going to see more of her, judging by the end of this segment. I was like, oh, Amanda Pete was on this show for like more than 1 or 2 episodes. I totally escaped my mind. Totally did.
Yes. Yeah. And I have a lot to say about this, but let's get through this part. Then Alicia, and Alicia is like taking on this mentorship role with her, because she's like, I started over late. You can call me. Laura takes her up on that. Alicia ends up calling who she interviewed with, or who Laura interviewed with, and finds out like there's no job there really. And Laura meets up with Alicia, tells her about all of this, and basically like does networking 101 explainer here. Like, I got this job after not working for 13 years because I knew someone. Like, who do you know? And then Alicia realizes, wait a minute, you know me. I'm someone who I could talk to at the state's attorney's office, aka my husband, and get you a job there. And that's what ends up happening. But this is what I wanted to talk about. Your friend, Geneva Pine.
Geneva.
She was interviewing Laura. Okay. And Geneva Pine has brought up bias with Peter before.
Yep.
And Geneva was not keen on hiring Laura right off the gate. Like, she's like, well, we don't really, we're not really short staffed. We don't really need anyone, but we'll keep your, application on file and get back to you. And what happens? Peter walks in, cuts Geneva off.
Doesn't walk. Waltzes in.
Yes,
to
exactly.
the office.
Yes. Cuts Geneva off, grabs the resume out of her hand, says, oh, you're looking for a job? Basically, here, and here's a case. Here you go. And just in case you have forgotten or have not watched in a while, Laura Hellinger is a white woman, and so is Amanda Peet. But like, so
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I would hope so.
This, yeah, I would hope so too. But like, it does not bode well for the. I just because I hate Peter so much, I really do hope that this does come back to haunt him. Yeah, but
well, listen, this is more like Jenny was like, oh, okay, so
why am I here?
The white man comes in and just gives the white woman a job
Yeah.
when we didn't really need another person, but okay, cool. Like you could tell Geneva's just like, huh, all right. Yet again, this same type of crap is happening.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, to do away with all the politics of it all, the fact that Alicia is recommending this very beautiful woman, younger woman than Alicia, to work like semi-closely with Peter, I think is a lot of growth in Alicia, because I feel like season 1 Alicia would not have done this. Season 1 Alicia would have been like, you stay away from my husband. Like you.
Why? It makes me so nervous.
Why?
Because I don't know. Like I never trust Peter. I never trust him. I never.
You don't trust him to behave himself around Captain
No.
Hellinger?
No.
I don't know, but the fact that Alicia like got Laura this job and is like, yeah, sure, beautiful younger woman than me, go ahead, work closely with my husband, I think shows a lot of growth in Alicia's character, to be like, even if something does happen, it's not going to end me or destroy me. It's not going to be my fault.
Yeah. Like I've been through this.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting to have Alicia get Laura that job so close to Peter and not be worried about it, not be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't put a young person in front of Peter.
Well, especially given the conversations that are happening on the campaign.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, much to Geneva's chagrin, Laura's gonna, and honestly, it's been a minute since we really checked in with the state's attorney's office, because Peter's been so wrapped up in running for governor. So it might be a door reopened back into the state attorney's office, because when we saw it, I was like, Geneva's here. And of course, it was only for like 2 minutes.
Like, to criticize the show for a moment, we didn't need a white character to come in here. Geneva is enough of a character to have gone up against, to go up against Lockhart Gardner on her own. We just like getting Cary in on criminal cases, I think, was enough to force more stuff in the state's attorney's office. Mm-hmm. I guess it's great to have another character. And again, big fan of Amanda Peet. But at the same time, I was just like, that means Geneva's not going to be in charge anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Laura's not going to be in charge.
I know she's not going to be in charge, but
Laura's taking Cary's crap spot that he left the state attorney's office with. It's not like she's going to be the deputy state attorney. She just
yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, I get it. I just this is obviously going to open the door for a Laura Alicia face off at some point, because Alicia can't do anything without it biting her in the butt.
And Alicia has like the friend slot open, like she tried to be friends with Maddie. That's not going to work out. Clolinda is keeping her distance, which I don't blame her for. And also she has a lot going on in her own life. And so I think Alicia, kind of sees Laura as a friend, and I'm sure that's going to explode in some way. I don't remember, but yeah. Well, speaking of the campaign, Eli is doing a press conference call, which I thought was interesting and also probably really annoying, but I'm sure they did them at the time. The story about Indira Star is still a story. Like, people are still talking about this what's going on, and it has been upped a level because one of the reporters says that Indira Star knows about a specific piece of Peter's anatomy and what is on that piece of anatomy. I just thought it was really interesting. We did have breasts and penises in this entire thing, and they said it like 1,500 times. Like, I wonder if they were also trying to like test the FCC of like how many times can we say these words, but they're real, like they're anatomical words. So I don't know.
Well, I think you can say those. I don't think you can say the slang words.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it was like,
I'm also not allowed to say on this podcast due to the MCC.
Listen. Or if you would like to donate to buymeacoffee.com/goodpod.
Yeah, help me
Let
pay my
Jason-
fines. If I get $50 worth of contributions this week, I will say a bad word on air that will cover my fine from the MCC. Also, not to note, before we even knew about this, Alicia got a call in her office that like it's just a random person asked Alicia, "Hey, what do you think of Brazilian food?" And then a hang up, which is like in the moment was like, "What was that?" And then we find out about this piece of information that we get. It's like, oh, love it when a joke makes sense later.
Yeah, because basically they're saying Indira Starr knows about this Brazilian shaped birthmark on Peter's penis. Which Eli at this point is like, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, this is my life. I have to deal with this more. It just keeps getting worse.
It's so funny when our characters like question the state of the world. They're like, because Eli's like, is this what media has come to? Like, is this what we're doing now? Like,
I started rewatching The West Wing because I'm a sadist, and there are times in there where they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a scandal," and I'm like, "Oh, fellas, fellas, let me tell you,
take it from the future, guy. Take it from the future. You don't even know half of it."
But yeah, Peter, of course, denies that he has a penis with a birthmark of Brazil on it. And he does ask the question, like, okay, who is smart enough to think this up? Like, Indira Starr is not that smart to do this. She's got to be helped by someone. He
Rude,
thinks
first of all.
Well, that's what Peter thinks. That's what Peter thinks. So Peter thought that about Indira Starr, and also says the only person who's smart enough is Christiva to do this.
Because Maddie's not that smart either, because she's abroad, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I mean, you said it. I didn't say it.
Peter thought.
Yes. And so he basically tasked Eli with finding out like who's behind this. And Eli is like, oh man, okay, what do we have? And we talked to, I forget his name, but basically like the hitman on the show, Moody. And he's like, okay, like, look, I don't got much, but Maddie's sleeping with a girl. And that's all I can tell you. And Eli's like, ugh, okay, we can't have our fingerprints on any of this, but we go with it. Like, desperate times call for desperate measures. So apparently Kalinda had agreed to go and stake out Maddie's house because she is there in a car with Moody, and she catches Indira Starr coming out of Maddie's apartment. And then she does some more investigative work and finds out that Indira Starr has been going over to Maddie's apartment for a month before the story broke at the magazine. So, I mean, I was not right that it was Christiva, but I was right that it was some sort of plan. There was a plan. This was a plan.
Yeah, this tells, because we were debating last episode whether, like, what were Maddie's true intentions with getting to know Alicia, and it would seem like she's much more devious than we thought. That the whole Alicia thing was a plot to get closer to the Florrick enterprise and figure out some inside deets about maybe about Peter, about the marriage, about whatever that Maddie could use as ammunition. So I'm really interested to see how that comes to fruition. I'm interested to see when Alicia finds this information out and her next meeting with Maddie, how that goes. So that's some intrigue there.
Some stuff is going on, but this is like just gold to Eli Gold. He's like, yes, great, fantastic. We have a direction to go now. Okay, Moody, you do this. Kalinda, Eclipse, like, I'm out. I'm out. I can't. And he's like, yeah, but you're really helping Alicia. She's like, it's not gonna fly anymore. Like, I'm done.
She's like, listen, I have a Irish tow truck guy I gotta deal with. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I'm out. Peter does call Alicia to say, hey, so would you mind talking about my birthmark that's not real to the press? And Alicia is actually very amenable here. She's like, yeah, okay, but I don't want to do it like, I want to do it my way. And he's like, well, what about with laughter? She's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, laughter. This is interesting because, number one, we don't hear Alicia laugh out loud often.
So much in this episode.
Yeah, she did at least twice this episode. I was like, oh, like, that's kind of a cute little laugh you got there, Alicia. Like, it's fun. Because when Peter tells you, she's like, oh. It's like, oh, okay, I got you. And Alicia says, yeah, because Peter's like, hey, can you like talk to the press? She's like, oh, well, I don't do outrage well these days, which is like kind of a comment of like, I'm not trying to sweat the small stuff anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Peter, you're gonna do you. Peter's gonna Peter, and I'm not gonna be distraught over things. I'm not gonna lose my head over stuff with Peter. Like, I'm just learning to like deal with the punches, and it feels like that's kind of like where Alicia's mindset is nowadays. Like, nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing like I'm not gonna fall apart over the littlest thing anymore. Well, I mean, listen, look, a affair that your husband committed was not a little thing, but she's like, I'm not gonna fall apart over things anymore. Like, I don't do outrage well. I was like, oh, that's like a nice way of like checking in with where Alicia's mindset is right now.
Yeah, and she was able to like strike up a deal with like, hey, I'll talk to the press if you hire Laura. And so that is our episode. We got, I think it's setting some stuff up going forward.
Yeah.
We've got the Clark for more. We're going to see how Captain Hellinger comes into play. We're going to see what else happens with the campaign and how they're going to fight back against Maddie. And we're all going to give Cary a hug. These are the things of this episode.
We care about his mental well-being, not because he's hot.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
I care about hot people's mental health too.
Yeah, I'm for sure.
Hot
You're always asking me how I'm doing. So that's
I know.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Marissa, do you want to fill the good folks in on where they can find you and your musings nowadays?
Yeah. Hey, good folks. You can find me at itsmemarissag.com, where I have links to all of the podcasts that I'm on, including this one. I'm also over on Whirlwind's podcast network talking about Pretty Little Liars, one previously on at a time, and talking about the Final Frontier and Star Trek The Next Generation with my sister over on the USS Sisterhood. That's what's going on in my podcast world. If you want to know what's going on in my real life, email me and let me know. But it's like I don't know if there's enough.
Here's my cell phone number.
No, there's just I don't know if there's enough space on the internet for me to really lay that out there. It's been a year. And I can't believe we're in November. For sure. But Jason, what about you? What's going on with you?
Yeah, you can find me talking about reality TV mess and nonsense in several different places this week. I'm over on the Perfect Match podcast with me and my co-host Asia Welch. We are talking Married at First Sight season 19. Married at First Sight is now on Peacock. It's doing the Love is Blind batch thing, so we're having fun over there. About halfway through the season at this point, so check us out over at if you type in Love at First Sight, you'll find the feed with Married at First Sight and Love is Blind in it. So if you're catching up on Love is Blind, you can find coverage on that there as well. Also on Patreon, we are also doing more Married at First Sight content over on the Perfect Match podcast on Patreon. So check that out. We're talking to past MAFS participants about their experience and about how they feel about the new season. So check that out as well. And I was also on the We Know 90 Day Fiance podcast with Puya talking about 90 Day Fiance the other way this week. Those are all places you can see and hear me. So check all that out. And until next time, stay good.